Alright guys, I wanted to show you how to add some images as well as maybe an image gallery to a page before we get into some plugins and themes. So once you get to your WordPress site, if you haven't already logged in, go ahead and click login. Otherwise, go onto the back end or the inside of WordPress and let's go ahead and find a page that we want to edit. I'm going to select the About Us page. It doesn't really matter what page you select. And we don't really have any content here. You might have a sentence that says this is the About Us page. But I just want to throw some dummy text in there. So I'm going to use something called Ipsum. I put the link in the WordPress folder called HTML-Ipsum sorry. And we can just select some basic HTML dummy content by double clicking and hitting Control C or Apple C to copy, and just pasting that in the text version because it is HTML. The visual, remember, is for kind of WYSIWYG or Microsoft Word editing, more simple editing, and the text is for HTML editing. Just go ahead and paste that HTML in here, which is just wrapped in a basic paragraph tag. Flip over to visual and we see a paragraph tag. So if we want to add an image to this page, we can go ahead and click whether we want it at the beginning of the paragraph, at the end of the paragraph, or maybe in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and click in the beginning and click this button right here called Add Media. And what Add Media is going to allow you to do is to upload some images, create a gallery, set a featured image for the page. I have already uploaded a few images from my desktop, but I'm going to go ahead and redo that for you guys. So if you go to Upload Files and go to Select Files, I have thrown a few images on my desktop, and you can just go ahead and select one or multiple at a time by holding Shift. I'm going to go ahead and just re-upload the kitchen photo. So now there's duplicates in my system, but that's okay. So through this interface, we can just select which image we want to upload. So go ahead and put an image on your desktop and go ahead and go through the upload process and upload it. It can be any image, any size, just so you can understand how to upload images to WordPress. And once they're uploaded, they're going to stay in this media library tab, and you can reuse them on other pages. So once you select what image you want to select, we're going to go ahead and see over here with some details. It'll tell us how big the image is, 400 pixels by 400 pixels, and we can add and edit some metadata, like the title of the image. Let's say we wanted it to be like New Home Kitchen. So we use keywords to title an image for SEO purposes. So if it was a bakery image, we could talk about breads or bakeries or whatever the image was holding. Or if it's an artist gallery, we can talk about maybe the style of painting or location. Terms that are relevant that people will Google or search to find these images. We can tag them with metadata to help explain them to search engines. So fill out the title field. Some of these other ones you can leave blank. I usually copy the title field and paste in the alt text as well. What alt text is if you've ever been on a website and you hover over an image and some text pops up, that is what we call the alternative text attribute in HTML. And we also see some display settings here. We can align the image left, center, or right, or give it no alignment. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as left because I want the image left aligned at the beginning of the paragraph. We can select what the image is linked to, meaning once it's on our page and the user clicks on it, do we want it to link to just this image? Do we want to link it to a page, a custom URL, maybe link it out to another site or blog, or give it no link? I'm going to go ahead and give this one no link. And this really depends on what kind of image and how you're using it. And then size. Once again, in settings, we could say WordPress, make a thumbnail this big, or a medium size, or a full size image. The full size image can only be as large as the image that you uploaded, which is listed up here. So if your image is only 400 pixels and you want it to be a full background image, it's going to be very pixelated because when you blow up that image, it's going to be too large. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as a thumbnail. And down here, I'm going to insert into my page. Now in the visual editor, I see a little thumbnail has been edited. It's already got some spacing. If you wanted to flip over to the text, you see that it's added an image tag. So WordPress has automatically handwritten this HTML for me. I don't have to worry about it. And if I was to click Update, and up here click View Page, I flip out to the WordPress front end and I see this little thumbnail that has already some spacing from the WordPress CSS, and it's been added to my paragraph. Now let's say I wanted to add multiple images for a gallery. I could go back to Edit Page, and let's say I wanted a gallery at the end of my page. WordPress, I'm going to hit Enter and go down a line and click Add Media again. WordPress has a built-in gallery function, so I'm going to go ahead and click Create Gallery and go ahead and upload either the same image again or upload a few multiple images by going to the upload process again. So you have multiple images to work with. And select a few images and go ahead and click Create New Gallery. This allows us to add some captions. I'm going to copy and just add a few so we can see what it looks like. And we have some settings over here. What do we want to link the images to? We want to link them to themselves or the media file, a different page, or nothing. I'm going to go ahead and say media file. And how many columns do we want this gallery to be? 1 column of images going down, 2 by 2, 3 across, 4 across. I'm going to go ahead and say 3 across. And I want them in a random order, not necessarily the order that I uploaded them in. And click Insert Gallery. And in the visual aspect, we're just going to see this dotted blue line. And as we get into some plugins, we might see that. And all that means is WordPress is interpreting that as custom PHP or a custom element that you've added. If you go into the visual text, we see that short code denoted by these 2 braces and some PHP inside of that, which allows us to embed things kind of on the fly. So if we go ahead and click Update, and we are to view our page, we'll see that WordPress has added a nice little gallery with some hover captions for us. Once we click on it, it takes us right to that media file. Once again, we could have selected None, and the image would lead us nowhere. It would not be clickable, but it would still have this caption, and it's created this nice clean gallery layout for us by adding some images. There's other ways to add images from Flickr or an Instagram feed, or by searching a certain hashtag on Twitter or Instagram, and we'll get into that when we get into plugins. But this is how we can add basic images to our pages. Not necessarily in the header, but in the body copy. We'll get into some header things and how to alter some of those images when we look at themes here in one of the next videos. So once again, if we want to see what images we've uploaded, we can come into Media, which is our media library, if you will. That has all of the images we've uploaded on individual pages. We can edit them here by adding captions or alternative text descriptions. We can edit the image by rotating it, as well as cropping it, and apply it to all of the images, and we can update it here. So if you uploaded a very large image and wanted to crop it smaller, we could come into our media library here and edit it. In our media library, we can also add images from the get-go, as well as audio files or videos. The issue is they have to be smaller than 8 megabytes right here, which is going to be fine for the majority of your images. However, audio and video, most likely not. And as we look at plugins, we can use those, as well as thinking about how we want to host those files. Maybe audio files we should host on externals like SoundCloud, and videos on something like YouTube or Vimeo that we discussed in the multimedia lectures. But for the most part, we're going to be working with images for this site that live in our media folder, or once again, going into Pages and Edit. We can click this Add Media button right here, upload a basic file, select it, and what size, and a few other attributes, left alignment, right alignment, and edit there. If we want to go ahead and edit an image later, we click once. We see the red delete or the edit button. We can click edit, and we can change some other aspects, see how it may align and play, and update some other things here. Click update, and update our page. And we've now changed alignment for this image from the left to the right, and it's automatically added some padding. So that's some basic image editing and uploading to WordPress. Each scenario and each page and use of an image may be different, But that's basically how to upload images and manipulate them on WordPress.